All right, it's time to get cracking on this Baycrest company. He's got a couple of monument signs. Already sent the reverse channel letters over for the address earlier. Obviously, no video needed for that. So let's go over these real quick. Most of it's just remix of all of our principles. So I'll just kind of point out how they work here, but none of this should throw you. It's just a mishmash. So let's go over lay of the land. I've got outside boxes, I'm calling them. The monument's kind of a wide boy, so a little wider than we're used to usually. But so you got your jigs, and this will just be the outside box. And then there's sort of an inner framing, C channels and stuff like that. You got your middle reveal, 2 inch tall. We're going to fab that. And then the bottom box. So it's like a 3-section thing. We'll go over that. A little bit different than what we've done before. You recognize these. These are just going to be the rivet on face holders, the panels. And then it has exchangeable faces. Now in this one, I'm sending this over to route with this note. We're still waiting. There could be some that have some customer files that be approved. So you can route everything else and just wait until I confirm. Otherwise, we will just route blanks and then we'll have to replace them later. So here's all the skins. I put them separately. Got your 4, again, there's quantity 2 monuments. They're all identical. So everything should be in quantities of 2. Multiples of 2 anyway. So you got your side. So I got the bottom skins over here and got your side skins. And we're going to do the little birdhouses, or the little covers anyway. But those are going to be on the inside of the bottom powers there. We'll go over that. So keep an eye out for those. Custom bird power boxes as usual. So keep an eye out for those. And you're going to have 2 large mounting foot plate thingamajiggers, and then also, that's the technical term, the thingamajiggers. And then you're going to have these little washers here for bolting this thing down. And then these things have some decorative side plates to kind of make them look cool. So look out for all this. You'll have little island fill kisses here for little footies that you'll weld on. I'll show you that. The usual 063 inserts. And look for a install / help install out. Find this thing and make sure they get it. That's your mount template for both. So because it is going on an existing base, like we've been doing. All right, so where do we start? So like you say, this is the overall view of it. It's the side view. It's existing concrete. Like I say, it's got 3 removable panels on one side and 3 removable panels on the other. So these guys are small enough, they're under 4 foot, that I went ahead and we're just going to do a tight shoe box. Let's just start with these face frames. We're going to start with a tight shoe box. You can adjust the top and bottom in and out a little bit. And then we're just going to have screws on the end. The ends are equal. They're symmetrical, so you can flip-flop them either way. I kind of laid it out that way for you, so you don't have to worry about getting them, up or down. But like I say, we're going to wait till the very end on this. To see if anyone gets approved for logos before we route these. But you can get these routed up. So you kind of know how these work. And then when we're done, everything's all nailed down. You can just go through and slice these apart to separate them. Same thing with the face. When you guys go put the face, it's going to match those plate things there. And you'll just chop it all out. So that way it's stable for you. Anyway, let's go over the frame. So the frame like I say, it's a remix of what we do because it's so wide. We're kind of doing that inner frame like we do for Loma Linda or Panera, where we have the inner frame and then we put the hard candy shell. Similar. So on this one, it's just going to be a piece of 2x4 C channel that we fabricate for the top and the bottom. Let's go over here. Here it is. So you're going to have the top and the bottom. Now these dog bones will be on the top and the bottom. It doesn't matter. I just kept it. It's just easier that way, just in case you accidentally get it the wrong side up. Don't have to worry about it. So you'll take this one here, fold it, and then you'll take these long runners with the little kick out legs. Those are your 2 main structures. So you can see where you're going to create a top bar here, and then you're going to take a bottom bar there. And then this is all just rivetable. And then you're just going to rivet those. This goes inside the other one, trying to save that jiggy stuff, trying to save the jig. So this is a top view of that top bar. You'll slide that in there, go ahead and rivet that up. And then you'll rivet in some crossbars here that extend to the face. So you can see those extend out to the face. And then how we do when we have these removable panels like this, we'll have a C channel that runs across. So these jigs might be familiar, you know, that kind of thing. So you're going to have a C channel that runs across, and these C channels are up here. So and it's got all the various holes for all the various things. So anyway, so you can see where these two holes here interlock with that crossbar going across there. So again, we're pushing 22 inches wide. So I just wanted to have that stability so you can see where that goes across. And these are the C channels for the face. And so these guys here, so I'm thinking you could just rivet all this crossbar stuff first. And then when you build this around it and you go ahead and put the skin around it, you can lords this all up nice. And then when you bring these in, these here, you can go ahead and tack those, you know, just for easeability, because you can't really get the rivet gun in there or anything. But you can kind of, so all this crossbar inner part, I think you can go ahead and rivet all that together. And then you can go ahead and start lordsing and building the outside frame to it. So it's kind of similar to that inner frame with the hard candy shell. And then once this box is built, I think you're safe to go ahead and lords on your faces. I didn't do a left and right. They should mirror perfectly. It's just up and down. So make sure that's up, but you should be able to just use one on, you know, one direction, one the other. If you want to make sure, you know, these reference kisses could be the inside of one, and then this could be the outside of the other. Just keep them facing the same way, but they should mirror, you know, horizontally with no problem. So, but I think you're good to go. If you build this box, get it all tacked, get it all built, then you're good to go to just lords on faces, and then you're kind of done there. And then similar to, you know how we do, then we make our reveal, which is here. So the reveal is just 2x all the way around, fabricated channel. And then again, this slides inside, trying to save those jigs. And then you can just tack it, clean it up. But that leaves us with a void. And because this thing's so wide, the sign itself is so wide across here, I went ahead and gave you, copying the Indio letters, I gave you some little plates here that you can tack to this and then clean it up. So you can just tack it there and there. So on the top and the bottom, you can take these little square pads, and then that's just going to help sort of build up that void down there, because when that goes across. So if that makes sense, I think you got that. So I thought I made a little call out for that. I must have got lost. Anyway, there it is, the 090 spacers. So you can just tack those up, kind of like you did on the back there, so when you cram down the bolts. So once you get that taken care of, obviously, like we do, you're just going to take that, and you can lords it and self-tapper that to the bottom of the main box. So you got the main box, you can go ahead and permanently mount your reveal to that. Now's where we get a little different. This is going to be kind of like, if you remember the VIP, where we made, I think even Thunderbird, we did this too, where we made a very substantial mounting jig thing that essentially takes up the entire bottom area. So this whole bottom skirt, so like you got the top box done, you got your reveal here, go ahead and put that on. Then this bottom box you're going to build, but it's just going to be a hollow box. So go ahead, so that's down here. So you got the whole bottom here. And then you've got two giant solid jigs on the side. So these ones here, they say jiggy, those go on the inside, and you'll go ahead and just tack it like you do, tack all this around here. But we do have a power side. So make sure you line up the power to the power, and you see power side there. The reason is, everything else here is symmetrical, but once we get down here, we have a door panel that comes off. So this whole side is chopped by 0.1. So it is important that this bottom thing, make sure all this lines up. So power goes to the power side, and then these jiggies go to the power side because these holes are a little off. And then also the skins, obviously this skin will stick out 0.1 longer. So once you get to this part, it's important it's not symmetrical. Everything else here, this guy's all symmetrical. These are all symmetrical. You can horizontally flip them. But once we get down here, keep an eye on your power sides. So then the whole bottom though is going to be hollow and empty because it's essentially going to slide over the mounting base, and then it's just going to get bolted to it. What you're going to want to do though, like I say here, make sure that this whole bottom is nice and clean. Once you get done with, let's see, where did I have that? So all inside here, when you get done welding and cleaning it. Now I do have clearance for the welds. Let's see here. So I know that you're going to have a jig here and you're going to have welds here. I have clearance. That's fine. But when you're done welding and, making sure this thing's all strong, this big hollow box, go ahead and, flip it on its backside here and grind around in there and make sure it's all clean. Make sure there's no welding boogers anywhere, no blobs of lords or anything, because this needs to sit flush right on that top deck. It's got to sit right along there nice and clean. So anyway, so once you get that taken care of, what you're going to want to do, just like with the Indio letters, I don't have it here, but you're going to see this area here is going to be all void. So you're going to have 090 skin, but it's going to be 090 away from the skin. So go ahead and put some good big blobs of lords all in here, all on the jig, all along here. And then that way, that's going to be what kind of holds this thing together. So obviously you'll have a nice lords all the way around here, and then just fill up that gap. I didn't want to have to route a bunch of little pieces and make it fiddly. So again, like I say, just put some nice blobs. And then that way, when you're all said and done here, you go ahead and lords and self-tap this whole bottom part onto your reveal, completing the sandwich. Where's my side view? There you go. So you can go ahead and, nail it in. Now you can come in from the bottom, and it's okay to self-tap this whole bottom structure with lords. Like I say, I've clearanced these particular holes, so I didn't put any other holes in here that you can't use. So, and that actually, this is a little less updated. These aren't here either, so don't worry about those. But anyway, any of these holes, you are allowed to shoot screws through to augment your lords. You can see where that's where the reveal will be, that red line. I went ahead and notched the top plate, so you can see where I got clearance for those holes all the way along there and all the way along here. So feel free to, screw it up real good, making sure it's nice and tight. And then going forward, then be careful, because this whole sign now will be just on this edge. So putting on the carts and stuff, just be careful. I think it'll be fine, because you'll have 090 here stacked with 090, stacked with 090. So we're pushing close to 3/8 to a half inch just in the corners there. So I think you'll be fine. But just pass it on to to prep and stuff, that if you kind of tilt this on its side or something, this is just going to be 090 on 090. So watch for dents, watch for, it'll be vulnerable. Just be careful. But I think we're good there. So that's all pretty straightforward. That'll make the boxes. So now the mounting base, again, you're just going to put the top down. You have all the dog bones. Now these two dog bones here will be all the way through, and those are going to be alignment pins for the whole sign. You are going to go ahead and tack on the half 13 like we do in these 6 spots there. And then you're just going to lay it on top of the bottom piece. And then you have 2 long runners here, right? You got these 2 long runners. They go here, and then they die out up against 2 main long plates. So these 2 guys here, I'm going to go ahead and flip this. There you go. All right. So that'll be like that. So the 2 end plates are going to have long dog bones that extend up through these 2 slots, and then they will protrude up into the sign. And then that's going to give this whole thing, because like I say, you're going to drop this thing on, and then once it's on there, it's sort of pushing it back and forth, trying to center it. So these should help slot this right where it needs to be. And then install can slide through, and they're just going to sandwich this thing down to the 1/4 inch base plate system. So this will be the 1/4 inch base plate system from the side view, and they're going to Hilti in their studs like they do. And then where these nuts will be there, that'll be ready to receive the sign itself. So they'll take off this bottom panel, reach inside, and they can just frap this right down. So it should be nice and strong. And that's the side view there. You can see where it's just going to sit right on there. So the other side of that is just like the other bottom box. Make sure this top plate is nice and clean. Make sure there's no weld boogers. Make sure there's no accidental lord blobs or anything, because the sign needs to sit flush against there. So this surface here needs to be clean up against that surface. Okay, so otherwise, yeah, I think you got that done. Knock that out. You got this. And then the power will be on the power side. Now, this is symmetrical. I went ahead and made both ends the same, so you can just choose which one, dedicate it to that being the power side. So the power box is just a modified version of what we do. You're just going to bend up this backer piece, watch your arrows up, and then you're just going to bend this up, slide it in, and catch it with rivets, and then that'll be your false back. You can see where a GE will fit here. I got some ground wires there. It's, make sure you're using, because 105 degrees as we learned, right? This is well within 3 inches. Haha. What's up, you all? What's up, Edgar? You got your ends here. Make sure you get the right side. Again, remember cavity out. You can see there. So cavity out. This will be the left side. That way the screw is not on the inside. It's on the outside. And you can rivet along the back side there. And then you can see a top view here. The door will wrap around and it'll screw on. That's the door here. You can go ahead and use our switch plate from the front, put the switch plate to the back, screw it from the front, and there you go. Now, the birdhouse, we usually do like this little protective thing. What you're going to do is get that bent up, and that's going to get lordsed to the door. So that's going to be permanently mounted to the door. And then when the door is on there, you can see here the purple. That'll be the protection for the switch. And then you can see here, this is the switch box assembly here from the side view. And you'll be able to slide that over and it'll be sexy. So what we're going to do there is like, go ahead and just self-tap that right there. Frap, self-tap that, frap. And that'll be semi-permanent. So there's no reason once this box is on there with these self-tappers that keeps our bonding and everything. And then you can see where the power supply will be right there. And then install, I went ahead and you have the let's see, where's your base? There you go. You have these 3 areas to bring wire in, and then install just needs to get that wire to the back side. I got a 7/8 hole on the back. They just need to get primary wire to inside this box. And then all you need to do is take all your leashes like you do and collect them and, trade them with your friends, attach them all to themselves. And then you just need to get your leashes down through the bottom. I got you plenty of collection points. Where it is, there it is. Yeah. So I got plenty of collection holes. Just work your way through, and they all need to just get to that side box. So, let's see. So that's the box. Now we got these decorative things. I'm bringing in these 1 inch by quarter already tapped, aluminum stud standoff things. So they're just gonna fit right inside the island fill. Look for all 6 of those. I have an up on the inside here. Look for that. And then that just easy as enough when you're all done, when it's all prepped and everything ready for assembly. You're just going to reach inside. 6/4 20 screws are going to go ahead and nail that down. And those are just going to sit on the side looking pretty. So that's that. The washers. I have these 1/4 inch disc washers. They're 193s. You can go ahead and just tack those to the inside. That's going to be where install smashes this down. So I put a little washer there for that effect. So keep an eye out for those. I'll bring in some 4-inch all threads just to make sure we have them here. Hilti, the usual for install. You got the 1/2 by 13 glue in. I'm giving you an install template here. Now for install, all you need to do, it's really simple. If you take some scrap pieces of 1x1 square tube with you, just some long runs, you can just cut. I have them this way, but actually you could do it this way. If you take 2 or 3 sticks with you, lay it across, and then when you go to, after you put the studs in, you just back this up there. Just make sure you're at a minimum of 1 inch. Now I would probably lift this just a little bit more, and then every little bit more you lift above the 1 inch little thing here means that way the skirt will clear. So the skirt is going to be literally the same height as this. So if you leave this at 1 inch, then it's literally going to be right up against the concrete. So if you take some 1x1 tubing with you, kind of get this thing on there, set your nuts to that, and then maybe lift it just a little bit. That'll give you clearance when you go to actually put the sign on the cement, so on the concrete. So just use that, but it's really easy. Like I said, I have that laid out for some 1x1 square tube. Bring that with you. Easy spacer. Set it on there, set your depth, get it adjusted, good to go. And then you can go ahead and, bolt this together, fab or after you get this set, then when you slide this down, fab will have this all set up. You just go ahead and, slide that bolt through here. It'll go through there and you'll catch these nuts right here. Good to go. So, and then you'll be on your way out. hopefully that's all good for you guys. I think that's it. This guy here, let's see. Yeah, got that. Yeah, the faces, like I said, the faces, we're going to hold off on those to the very bitter end, and then we'll have those out. I'll release those. Yeah, I think that's it. So good luck. If you have any questions, hit me up.
Check the technique. Check the technique.